Testing, testing. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. Good afternoon to the world. My name is Dr. James Gilmore, and you are listening to What's Going On, where we talk about what's going on in our community, across the city, the state, the nation, and the world. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking on social media, please, this is a show that you definitely want to share. Please hit the share button and share it with others, because today we are talking about our health. We are talking about healthy eating. We are talking about the need for minorities to be in medicine and nursing. And I have some great guests on my show today. And my first guest is someone that I am delighted to finally have been able to meet face to face. We worked together virtually over the past year plus, maybe 2 years. And I have the dean of our Southern University School of Nursing. She is here with me, and that is Dr. Sandra Brown. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Gilmore.
And I want to start off by saying just thank you for all that you do for our university and our students.
Thank you.
Let's begin this conversation, because you and I are currently working on a project that talks about the need for minorities to really get into the field of medicine and especially nursing. Why is nursing such an important field, especially for minorities to consider as a major?
Well, nursing has been for years recognized as one of the most noble professions. Mm-hmm. When you look at Gallup polls, nursing is listed number one as the most respected profession. Mm-hmm. With that level of respect and nobility comes a certain level of responsibility, mm-hmm. Especially to care for those who are unable to care for themselves. So nurses meet patients, at their weakest point, mm-hmm. those who are ill and suffering, but also at one of the most happiest points when they're bringing life into the world. Mm-hmm. There is a great need for nurses. Mm-hmm. By the year 2025, we will be in a severe critical shortage of nurses.
What year is that?
2025.
That's not far away.
2 years away.
Okay.
And we are in a severe crisis now. Mm-hmm. There are over 2,000 need for nurses.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And this is for the state of Louisiana right
wow.
now. We can't produce enough.
Enough, yeah.
I've talked with CEOs of hospitals, and for example, this past May we had 58 graduates, mm-hmm. and this particular CEO said I could hire all of them on Monday.
Wow.
So how many professions where the students graduate on Friday and have a job waiting for them on Monday?
On Monday.
So that's kind of the short answer of why we need nurses. Mm-hmm. Why do we need African American nurses is because our state is, 33% African American? Mm-hmm. And the percentage of our African American nurses in the whole state of Louisiana is about 12 to 16%.
Oh, gosh.
And that includes, minorities.
Mm-hmm, all minorities.
We have about 60,000 nurses in the state of Louisiana. Only 10,000 are African American.
Wow.
And so Southern University is the largest producer of African American nurses for the state.
All right.
And we rank number 3 in the nation.
Wow.
So I always say if there was no Southern University School of Nursing, we would have far few African American nurses to serve those we're called to serve.
Right. And oftentimes I know with my peers who are in nursing that are African American or in any medical field, sometimes because of their cultural connection and background, they know and value the importance of going to work in desperate areas. So not all of them are interested or eager to go off to some big major city when they could go to a small rural town that they may have grown up in, or they could come back here to Baton Rouge or stay here in Baton Rouge and be a nurse right here locally in our urban community. So there is definitely a need for more nurses. And parents, if you're out there listening, just, try it out. Maybe expose your kids to the field of nursing at a young age, and it may be something that piques their interest, because there's absolutely a need for it. There are jobs available, and it's for the betterment of keeping our community and all communities healthy. So tell me about the Southern University School of Nursing. How long have you been there as dean?
I've been at Southern University 28 years.
Wow.
And I've been dean 4 years.
Wow.
I didn't even know where Southern University was. I asked my husband, I said, well, how do I get there? He said, oh, it's just over the hump. I said, well, what hump? And I've been going over that hump for 28 years now and have enjoyed every minute of it.
Yes.
It's in my DNA. That
Yes.
Columbia Blue and Gold is who I am.
Yes, yes.
And it's been a wonderful journey.
Good. So tell me, what I know I hear about a lot of awards that our School of Nursing has won over the years. What are you most proud of about our School of Nursing, or what's your selling point if you were to ever go to a high school or here today to entice someone on why they should apply to the Southern University School of Nursing?
Well, we are humbled and honored. We've been recognized 5 times by the Louisiana State Nurses Association as the Nursing School of the Year.
Wow.
And that's done through an external review process. So they send our applications to external people all over the world. And they come and they say, this is the #1 school of the state.
Wow.
It gives us great honor, to achieve that, because we're held to the same standards as all the other schools of nursing. There are 32 schools of nursing in the state. And for Southern University,
Wow.
HBCU, in the southern region of the state of Louisiana, with limited resources that don't nearly compare to what the other universities have, it's just amazing. I mean, God has his hands on
5
us.
times #1
5 times.
in the state. Congratulations on that.
And I attribute that to my faculty. To teach in the School of Nursing, I tell them, it's not for the weak at heart. You got to have grit, and you have to have grind, because you're working with students who sometimes need a longer runway. If you compare it to plane taking off, they need a longer runway. But when they take off, they soar just as high,
Yes.
and they get just as far.
And that's the purpose of having HBCUs, is to help those who might need just a little bit longer runway to
Absolutely.
excel. And oftentimes it works in I'm an example of that as well. And it's good to know that the School of Nursing is there to help students excel. What are the requirements, or what's the application process if a student would be interested in the School of Nursing?
Well, first they apply to the university. You have to be admitted by the university and meet, the criteria of the university. You take 2 years of prerequisites. That's all your math, your science, your English, all of those courses. And then when you complete those prereqs, you apply to the School of Nursing to start your clinicals. And so that's 2 years where you're taking your nursing courses.
Gotcha.
So if I had to give advice to high schoolers, we're out there, we recruit. That's where it starts. The pipeline starts, even before they get to high school.
Yeah.
Because you can't be what you can't see. And so to see, African American nurses, both males and females, as a wonderful opportunity for getting a outstanding job, we want them, to see that. So preparation in the math, the sciences, the biologies, position you well when you come to Southern in those prerequisite courses.
Good. Parents, high school students, if you're listening, I really want you to consider the Southern University School of Nursing as your college of choice to pursue a degree in nursing. It's an award-winning program. Our community, our state, the world is in need of more nurses, especially African American and minority nurses. So really think about nursing as a career option, and choose the Southern University to apply. Now, Zenobia, I have a friend that finished her PhD.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
sh- um, so you just don't offer the bachelor's in nursing. You have other programs in nursing,
Yes.
obviously. What do you offer?
We offer in the School of Nursing an undergraduate degree, which is a 4-year bachelor's degree. We offer a master's degree,
Okay.
and most of the students who pursue the master's degree become nurse practitioners. And then we have 2 doctoral degrees. The DNP, which is a Doctorate of Nursing Practice, which is what Zenobia received. And then we have the PhD, which is a research science-based doctorate. So we have 2 doctorates.
Wow. Y'all, we have all of this right across the hump at the Southern University. 2 doctorate programs in nursing, a master's and an undergraduate program.
And in the fall, we'll be launching a 100% online RN to BSN program. So if you have an associate's degree from a community college, you can seamlessly come to Southern University. We accept all your credits, and in 1 year, you can get your bachelor's degree.
So, not just for high school students, if you're already in the nursing field
At a community college.
and you already have accomplished the requirements at a community college, you can then transfer over to Southern and receive your bachelor's in nursing.
All online. You don't have to interrupt your work. You could be working at a hospital
Wow.
and taking these courses online.
So, sounds like the School of Nursing has been working diligently, especially under your leadership in the past 4 years, to create options for students to excel beyond just a bachelor's in nursing, but also make things convenient for learning. You mentioned the research doctorate. So, what's the difference? What would a person, when a person's choosing which doctorate program, what are the differences in those programs? Does one go on to study health issues? What's the difference in those?
Well, with the DNP, these are nurse practitioners. It's like a clinical doctorate.
Gotcha.
A lot of the allied health professions are moving towards clinical doctorates, like the PharmD, Doctor of Pharmacy,
Gotcha.
Doctor of Physical Therapy.
Gotcha.
It's in that same realm. And those nurses primarily are nurse practitioners. They're at the bed, they're seeing patients, but they also move into leadership roles.
Gotcha.
They may one day own their own clinics.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas the research PhD doctorate is more scientific academics. So those are the folks that we try to recruit for faculty, to do grant writing, to be at cutting edge of research.
On health issues.
And health issues.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Wow. I'm learning so much about our School of Nursing and very thankful that we have the Dean, Dr. Sandra Brown, here listening today. Again, this is one you want to share, folks. This is one you want to hit share, especially for parents and students in high school and those in the medical field who may have an interest in nursing or would like to learn more. The Southern University School of Nursing is where you need to apply and where you need to be. Because I'm just blown away at the awards and recognition, and I'm also blown away at all of the offerings that you all have for students. About how many students do you currently have in your nursing program?
Right now we have over 400 students in
great.
the undergraduate program,
Great.
about 100 in our graduate program.
Okay. And about how many do you accept, entering their freshman year?
Well, there lies the challenge, because those students who finish their prereqs or students who transfer, we get over 300 applications per semester.
Oh, wow.
And about half of those meet the criteria, about 150. But we can only accept about 75 students. We have seats for 75 is what we say, primarily because we simply don't have enough faculty and we don't have enough space
Gotcha.
to accommodate more students. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Well, hopefully, alumni, state legislators, leadership at the board level, politicians, it's an election year, you all. Let's make sure folks know that Southern University and Southern University School of Nursing needs all the resources we can get in order to grow our nursing program to be able to accommodate more students. We need, the space, we need the faculty, and all that costs money. And so we all need to be advocates for the Southern University School of Nursing, whether you went to nursing school or not. What the Southern University School of Nursing has to offer benefits us all. benefits our health, our community. It gets people employed, and so we all need to be advocates for the Southern University School of Nursing because you all are doing great things. Dean, one last thing I'd like to talk about is the mobile unit.
Yes.
Tell us about the mobile unit that you have that I've seen around town.
We are so thrilled. This is JAG-Mobile number 2.
Okay.
We had our first JAG-Mobile in the early 90s. It was funded by a grant from USDA, and it served, a large community, but after 25 years, it just,
like any vehicle.
It just could no longer
Conked
operate.
out.
So through my work on the Louisiana COVID-19 Health Equity Task Force, I looked at our geographics. I looked at our zip codes that were driving our health disparities in the limelight, and I would constantly say, we need another mobile health unit. We need to get to these folks. And then was President Belton, and he says, I think he called me on a Tuesday. You still want that mobile unit? I said, yes, I do. Okay, have a proposal on my desk by Thursday. And we did, because we had the blueprint, we had the pathway, we had all of the data to support why we needed it. And so look for it in your community. It's that Columbia blue and gold. We've got the Jaguar mascot on it. We've got our slogan that says the mighty Jags of SU bringing healthcare to you.
Yes.
And we got our paw prints on the side saying that, wherever we go, we leave a mark on the community we serve.
Outstanding. What do you all offer on the JAG-Mobile?
We do a lot of health screenings, and we're partnered with Ochsner Health. So Ochsner has worked with us collaboratively. They're our partners because we have telehealth capabilities. So if we need to refer a patient or have a patient see a specialist, they can get it right there on the mobile unit through telehealth technology.
Fantastic.
We offer blood pressure screenings, blood sugar screenings, BMI, nutrition, health counseling. We do some cancer screenings.
All of this you can take around the areas that may be deficient in healthcare and access to healthcare services. We can do it with our mobile unit.
And it's connecting patients who may not have a medical home. And so that's, where Ochsner plays in. We can do a direct referral, to them so that when we leave, they have a medical home. Now,
are students involved in the mobile unit in any way?
Absolutely. We link the mobile unit with our community health nursing course. So our students utilize that for their clinical experience, and they're able to see community health at a grassroots level.
Right.
At a grassroots level.
This has been such a pleasure, Dr. Brown, that you took time to come on the podcast to share information about the School of Nursing, about the need for minorities to get to major and get into the field of nursing, as well as the needs that our community has as it relates to health disparities and how we must come together. Are there any closing remarks that you'd like to share with our listeners about anything we've talked about today or anything that I may have missed?
No, I just want to express appreciation to you because you and I worked together in the midst of COVID. We did some town hall meetings.
Vaccination drives.
Been, an advocate for healthcare and has supported, the School of Nursing tremendously. So I greatly appreciate you. To our listening audience, I would just encourage you to, look into nursing as a profession. It is a very rewarding profession, and it's a calling. I truly believe it's a calling because you're helping people to make better health choices.
Yes. And one thing I haven't told, I don't think anyone, including you, Dean, I did my volunteer hours in the School of Nursing.
Really?
When I was at Southern, I wanted to be assigned somewhere on campus, and I was assigned in the front office up there to do my volunteer hours.
Yes.
And so I didn't major in nursing. I was in political science, but
you were connected
exactly.
to us. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, listening audience, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure interviewing Dr. Sandra Brown, who's the Dean of our School of Nursing. But don't go far. We have some guests coming up next who are going to talk about the dangers of smoking and how we should be living healthy by eating healthier and exercising and taking care of our health. So don't go far, but stay tuned for our next segment. You are listening to Dr. James Gilmore, What's Going On? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.